So this is the problem that I'm having with my gates. I've got 4 sets of gates in my yard, and they're all having the same problem. They were all built around the same time. Over time, they've kind of warped, and now I'm getting gaps at the bottom, and that is letting the small dogs out. So I've got to fix it. What I'm going to do is not a long-term fix. It's just going to buy me some time, maybe a year or 2 before I have to come back and rebuild these gates entirely. So what I did was I put a cable and a turnbuckle on each gate, and what that does is act like almost like braces or a retainer, and over time, over a couple weeks, it'll kind of pull it back into line, and then I'm going to leave it there permanently, but it'll keep the gate in line. So here's what I used: a turnbuckle. You can pick them up. I got this one at Home Depot. It was about 10 bucks, and this is the key element to make the whole thing work. So I've got my turnbuckle, and I'm going to put that on the gate. What I have to figure out is which 2 corners am I trying to pull closer together. So to get this in line, I'm going to go from here to here and tighten that up, and it should pull that corner out over time. So I'm going to start on the gate with a pair of these. These are some heavy-duty eye hooks, and I'm going to put one in each corner, one down here, one up here, and our cable is going to run from one to the other and pull things back in line. I'm going to pre-drill my holes to make these a little easier going in. All right, with holes pre-drilled, these should go in pretty easily. And once you get them started, then you can take a screwdriver and turn them in. Now we have that in. I'm going to head into the shop and put together the turnbuckle and the cable that I'm going to put on the fence. Okay, so I've got this vinyl coated steel cable, and I've got my turnbuckle adjusted all the way out, and I've got to fasten this to the ends. And I'm going to do that with these little screw-on cable clamps. All right, same process on the other end. All right, so that's the brace that's going to go on my fence. I'm going to attach it to the eye hooks on the fence with another set of cable clamps. It gets a little trickier, but it's not horrible. Let's go. Okay, we're back out at the gate with our assembly. This gets a little tricky. You've got to have your turnbuckle adjusted all the way out so that you have room to adjust it in. We're going to try to center it the best that we can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as close as you can get it is helpful. And I'm going to run this cable through here. And we're going to go right about there. So that's where I'm going to attach it, and I need to put another cable clamp on. And then tighten it down. And then I'm just going to take tin snip and trim that. And we're going to do the same process at the other side. Feed that cable through and clamp it. We're tight on both sides. I'm going to start tightening the turnbuckle. It'll be easy at first. You can just do it by hand. And then you're going to get to a point where you probably can't do it by hand, and then you may need a helper to hold. So I'm going to get it as tight as I can get it today, but that doesn't mean I'm done with the process, because then I'm going to come back in a day or 2 and tighten it a little more. I want to say too, the reason that I did this outside of the gate versus inside of the gate is because with the dogs, sometimes they jump at the gate, and I didn't want anybody to get their paws tangled in there. So that's why we did it on the outside. But there you have it, bringing your fence gate Back in the line on Jill Washburn.